Here, we embark on a journey of faith, hope, and spiritual growth, exploring the profound truths of God's Word, powerful testimonies, and biblical teachings that inspire and uplift. Our mission is to strengthen your faith, provide biblical insights, and encourage you to walk closer with God every day. Join our community of believers as we dive into scriptural wisdom, powerful prayers, and life-changing messages that will guide and uplift you in your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity to grow in faith and deepen your relationship with God. Let's walk this faithful journey together. Subscribe now and be blessed. The sun dipped low, painting Jerusalem's rooftops in hues of gold and crimson. King David, the shepherd-turned-warrior king, lay upon his bed, his breast shallow. The court buzzed with nervous energy, for the aged king's health was failing. Whispers, like desert winds, carried the question, who would inherit the throne? Adonijah, David's elder son, bold and handsome, believed his time had come. He was a man of war, surrounded by loyal captains and priests. He moved with the confidence of one destined for greatness. But another name lingered in the air, softer, yet persistent, Solomon. Son of Bathsheba, he was known for his wisdom, even as a youth. He possessed a quiet strength, a thoughtful gaze that seemed to pierce the veil of deceit. Bathsheba, his mother, a woman of deep faith and shrewd understanding, watched the unfolding drama with a heavy heart. She knew Adonijah's ambition threatened Solomon's rightful claim. The prophet Nathan, a trusted advisor to David, recognized the danger. He understood that David, in his frailty, might be swayed by Adonijah's supporters. Nathan, with the wisdom of the ages, sought out Bathsheba. He spoke of the oath David had sworn, the promise that Solomon would succeed him. He urged her to remind the king, to ensure his word was fulfilled. Bathsheba, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and resolve, went to David's bedside. She knelt before him, her voice trembling, and reminded him of his promise. David, though weak, was not oblivious. He understood the gravity of the situation. He remembered the words he had spoken, the covenant he had made. David, summoning his remaining strength, called for Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet. He instructed them to take Solomon to Gin Spring, a sacred place outside the city walls. There, before the eyes of the people, Solomon would be anointed king. The procession moved through the streets, a spectacle of solemnity and hope. Zadok, his face etched with the weight of tradition, poured the sacred oil upon Solomon's head. The trumpet sounded, a blast that echoed through the hills, proclaiming the new king. The people shouted, "God save King Solomon!" Their voices, a wave of jubilation, washed over the city. Adonijah, feasting with his supporters, heard the commotion. Panic seized him. He knew the meaning of the trumpet blast, the shouts of the people. His ambition, so close to fruition, crumbled before him. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced his heart. He fled to the tabernacle, seeking sanctuary at the altar. He clung to the horns, a desperate plea for mercy. Solomon, upon hearing of Adonijah's plight, showed remarkable restraint. He declared that Adonijah would be safe, as long as no evil was found in him. This act of mercy, a testament to Solomon's wisdom, brought peace to the city. David, knowing his time was near, called Solomon to his bedside. He spoke with a father's heart, imparting wisdom gained through a lifetime of trials and triumphs. He urged Solomon to walk in God's ways, to keep his commandments. He warned him of the dangers of vengeance and the importance of justice. He entrusted him with the task of building the temple, a sacred house for the Lord. David's words, a legacy of faith and wisdom, echoed in Solomon's heart. He listened intently, absorbing every word, every nuance of his father's voice. David, the shepherd king, breathed his last, his soul at peace, knowing his son would carry on his legacy. Solomon ascended the throne, facing the daunting task of consolidating his power. He inherited a kingdom rife with potential threats, both internal and external. He moved with a quiet determination, demonstrating his wisdom and strategic acumen. He dealt with Adonijah's ambition, ultimately ensuring his safety was compromised no longer. He addressed the lingering threats from his father's enemies, establishing peace and stability throughout the land. He demonstrated a keen understanding of governance, appointing wise officials and establishing a just legal system. God, pleased with Solomon's humility and devotion, appeared to him in a dream. He offered Solomon any gift he desired. Solomon, instead of asking for riches or power, asked for wisdom to govern his people justly. This selfless request pleased God greatly. He granted Solomon not only wisdom, but also riches and honor beyond measure. Solomon awoke from the dream, his heart filled with gratitude. He understood that true greatness lay not in material possessions, but in the ability to discern right from wrong, to judge with fairness and compassion. Solomon's wisdom was soon put to the test. 2 mothers came before him, each claiming a baby as her own. One baby was alive, the other dead. Solomon, after listening to their conflicting stories, devised a plan. He ordered a sword to be brought, and declared that the baby would be cut in 2, each mother receiving half. One mother, in her grief and desperation, agreed to the plan. But the other, her heart overflowing with love for her child, cried out, "Give her the baby! Do not kill him!" Solomon, seeing the true mother's love, declared her the rightful parent. This act of wisdom, a testament to Solomon's God-given gift, spread throughout the land. The people marveled at his understanding, recognizing him as a king of extraordinary discernment. Solomon, remembering his father's charge, began the monumental task of building the temple. He gathered skilled craftsmen from across the land, importing cedar wood from Lebanon and precious stones from distant lands. The construction, a testament to Solomon's vision and dedication, spanned 7 years. The temple, a magnificent structure of gold and cedar, stood as a symbol of God's presence among his people. It was a place of worship, a house of prayer, a beacon of hope for Israel. Solomon's fame spread far and wide, reaching the ears of the Queen of Sheba. Intrigued by his wisdom and wealth, she traveled to Jerusalem with a grand entourage, bearing gifts of spices, gold, and precious stones. She tested Solomon with difficult questions, seeking to unravel the depths of his understanding. Solomon, with his God-given wisdom, answered every question, leaving the Queen of Sheba astounded. She witnessed the splendor of his court, the order of his kingdom, and the devotion of his people. She declared, "The report I heard in my own country about your achievements and your wisdom is true. But I did not believe these things until I came and saw with my own eyes. Indeed, not even half was told me in wisdom and wealth. You have far exceeded the report I heard." Solomon's reign was marked by peace and prosperity. Israel flourished under his wise leadership, becoming a powerful and influential nation. Trade routes expanded, bringing wealth and cultural exchange. The people lived in security and abundance, enjoying the fruits of their labor. Solomon's wisdom, his dedication to justice, and his commitment to God's ways brought blessings upon the land. His reign became a golden age, a time of unparalleled peace and prosperity. However, even in the midst of abundance, the seeds of decline began to sprout. Solomon, despite his initial devotion, allowed his heart to be led astray. He amassed great wealth, indulging in luxury and extravagance. He took many foreign wives, who turned his heart away from the Lord. He allowed the worship of foreign gods to infiltrate the land, building high places for idols. This act of disobedience, a betrayal of his covenant with God, brought judgment upon Israel. God, in his anger, declared that the kingdom would be torn from Solomon's son. Only a portion would remain, as a reminder of God's promise to David. This prophecy, a shadow looming over Solomon's reign, foretold the division of Israel. Solomon's legacy, a mixture of wisdom and folly, stands as a reminder of the importance of faithfulness. Even the wisest of men can falter, if they turn away from God. Despite his failings, Solomon's wisdom continues to inspire. His proverbs, his songs, his writings offer timeless insights into the human condition. His story, a cautionary tale of the dangers of pride and disobedience, also serves as a testament to the power of God's grace. Solomon's reign, a tapestry of brilliance and imperfection, remains a pivotal chapter in the history of Israel. His ascension to the throne, a moment of hope and promise, set the stage for the unfolding drama of God's covenant with his people. King David had ruled Israel for many years, leading his people through battles and triumphs, always seeking God's will. As he grew old, the question of who would succeed him as king became urgent. Though David had many sons, God had chosen Solomon, the son of Bathsheba, to take the throne. Before Solomon was officially crowned, his older brother Adonijah attempted to take the throne for himself. He gathered supporters, including Joab, the commander of David's army, and Abiathar, the priest. Adonijah declared himself king, holding a great feast to celebrate his self-appointed rule. However, the prophet Nathan and Bathsheba, Solomon's mother, informed King David of Adonijah's actions. Knowing that Solomon was God's chosen king, David swiftly acted to secure his throne. He commanded the priest Zadok, the prophet Nathan, and Benaiah to anoint Solomon as king. They placed Solomon on David's own mule and brought him to Gin, where he was anointed with oil. The people of Israel rejoiced, sounding trumpets and shouting, "Long live King Solomon!" When Adonijah and his followers heard the celebration, they realized that Solomon had been crowned king by David's command. Fearful for his life, Adonijah sought refuge at the altar. Solomon showed mercy, allowing Adonijah to live, provided he remained loyal. As David's life neared its end, he called Solomon to give him final instructions. He urged him to walk in obedience to God, follow his commands, and rule with wisdom and justice. He also advised Solomon on dealing with certain individuals who had been threats or allies during David's reign. David soon passed away, and Solomon fully assumed the throne, establishing his rule over Israel. One of the most defining moments of Solomon's reign occurred when he traveled to Gibeon to offer sacrifices to the Lord. That night, God appeared to him in a dream and said, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." Instead of asking for wealth, power, or long life, Solomon humbly requested wisdom. "Give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong." Pleased with Solomon's request, God granted him unparalleled wisdom. Additionally, because Solomon had not asked for selfish gain, God blessed him with wealth, honor, and a long life so long as he remained faithful. Solomon's wisdom was soon put to the test when two women came before him, each claiming to be the mother of a baby. Both had recently given birth, but one child had died during the night. Each woman insisted the living child was hers. To determine the true mother, Solomon proposed an extreme test. He ordered that the baby be cut in half and shared between them. The real mother immediately cried out, pleading for the child to be given to the other woman to save his life. The false mother, however, agreed to the division. Seeing this, Solomon declared the first woman the true mother and returned her child. The people of Israel marveled at his wisdom, recognizing that God had given him extraordinary discernment. Under Solomon's rule, Israel experienced unprecedented peace and prosperity. He expanded trade, built alliances, and established a powerful and organized government. One of his greatest achievements was constructing the magnificent temple in Jerusalem, fulfilling his father David's dream. The temple became the center of worship, housing the Ark of the Covenant. Solomon's fame spread far beyond Israel's borders. Leaders and dignitaries, including the Queen of Sheba, came to witness his wisdom and wealth. She tested him with difficult questions, all of which he answered with ease. Impressed, she praised God for blessing Israel with such a wise and just ruler. Despite his great wisdom, Solomon's later years were marked by mistakes. He married many foreign wives, who influenced him to turn away from God and worship idols. This disobedience led to trouble in his kingdom, and God warned him that the kingdom would be divided after his death. Nevertheless, Solomon's reign left a lasting impact on Israel. His wisdom and writings, including Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon, continue to be treasured. His story serves as both an inspiration and a warning about the importance of staying faithful to God. Solomon's rise to the throne was filled with challenges, but his wisdom and devotion to God brought Israel into a golden age. His story teaches the value of seeking God's wisdom above all else and reminds us that even the wisest can falter if they turn away from God's commands. Solomon's legacy lives on as a ruler who, though imperfect, was blessed by God and remembered for his wisdom.